Hey y'all, my name's Chase Stanley. I'm a senior from Richmond, Virginia. Here at ODU, I am a tourism management major with a minor in public service. A couple of fun things I've taken part in here at ODU. I did go and study abroad in Havana, Cuba for the month of June, and I did go and take part in an internship in Madrid, Spain.
Hi, my name is Teresa. I'm a sophomore here at ODU. I am a math major with a minor in music. I am a part of the teacher concentration, so that means that I'm aiming to be a high school math teacher, which is very exciting. Some things that I'm involved in: I'm a member of the Monarch Marching Band as well as the Honors College. I am affiliated with a religious organization as well, as well as being a ambassador here.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So the first question I have is, what do students enjoy most about ODU?
From my experience in these past couple of years, I've noticed that students really love the surrounding areas of campus. The city of Norfolk is a very fun and exciting place that has a lot of things that students can get involved in. It was ranked the #1 place in America for millennials to live in, so that kind of will define the type of stuff that you can get into. But lots of mom and pop joints, little kind of restaurants that aren't brand or I guess kind of largely owned. That's always fun. And of course, Virginia Beach is a really great kind of thing to go do an activity whenever it's warm, and even sometimes when it's not warm. So.
Awesome. What type of support is offered for freshmen at ODU?
So the first week that you get here, we have this week of welcome. So what that means is that we have a bunch of opportunities for freshmen to get involved. So you can, it's very easy for you to find a club or organization that you want to get a part of. We have tables out to help you find your way, just so that way you don't get lost. We have people that are out there trying to, make sure that you are enjoying your time here on campus. We try to make move-in as easy as possible. We just have a bunch of resources for students to make sure that you're getting involved and enjoying your time here on campus.
Great. Are there any academic support services on campus, such as tutoring and writing centers?
Yeah, so there are actually a plethora of support that students do have. We have a Math and Science Resource Center that is walk-in based, so where students who need math help can just walk in at any time throughout the day and get any specific math help that they might need. We do have a writing center that is appointment based, but they are open Monday through Friday and even on Sundays to help students with that. Both of those are free resources included in your tuition. And an office that I work a part of, I am a peer academic coach, so we do help students with any sort of issues that might be happening in the classroom, like time management, study skills, and just any ways that we can help students. And that is the central forms of tutoring that we have. But we do have other forms of tutoring, but it is specific to the college of your major. So if you're looking for chemistry help, you're going to have to go to the chemistry major. So there are other sort of specific classes you can get help with, but again, you just have to go to that major of that area of concentration.
Awesome. What are the most popular majors here at ODU?
From my experience, I've noticed that engineering and nursing are some of our biggest majors. Nursing always has a huge amount of students that do apply, and only about 40 students get into that program. Engineering is kind of the same way. We have many pathways and concentrations to engineering, and we do have 100,000 engineering jobs within a 20-mile radius of our university. So I think that does make the engineering major a little bit prized and a little bit wanted. But of course, criminal justice majors are very big, as well as tourism majors, just because we are close to the beach. We are in a tourism area. So yeah.
Great. What makes ODU different than any other college?
I would say it's diversity. That's one of the things I love most about this school, is just that we have people from all different types of backgrounds, ethnicities, races, and people from all over the country that come here. And what I love is just walking around and being able to see the diversity right in front of you, being able to see just how everybody around you is different in their own sort of ways. And it just reminds me of kind of like how the real world is. You're not going to be with everybody who looks the same as you. You're going to be interacting and working with people who are from different backgrounds. And I think that's what makes ODU amazing.
Great. We do have a question. How is fraternity and sorority life?
So fraternity and sorority life is a pretty big deal here. Teresa and myself are not a part of fraternity or sorority life, but even if you're not in a fraternity or sorority, you can still and get involved with them. You can still hang out with them. You can still take a part of their sort of philanthropy projects that they do take on. About 10% of our student body does take part in fraternity and Greek life. But if that's something you're not looking forward to, we do have 300 to 400 other clubs and organizations that sorority and fraternities do fall under, but there are plenty more activities and clubs.
Can you describe the admission process?
Right, so for the admissions process, the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously apply to ODU. So you can do that two main ways. The first way is the Common App. We do accept that. And then the other way is we do have an ODU specific application process that you can do as well. Neither one is better than the other. It's just if you're already doing the Common App, maybe that's easier for you. It's just really your preference. After you apply to ODU, they'll ask you for some other things so we really see who you are, such as your transcripts, SAT scores, all of those things, and they'll ask you to send those over. Once you do, we look at them, we just process those. Those take a few weeks, and then after that, you will hear back from us. I believe you get a letter as well as an email letting you know whether you got in or not.
And one thing I can add on that, letters of recommendation are not something that's required, but they are recommended because if you are kind of on that line of the GPA minimum, it might be best to submit some letters of recommendation. So just one thing to keep in mind.
Are there any study abroad opportunities?
Yes, there are a plethora of study abroad opportunities. I believe we have up to 1,000 programs for study abroad, but unfortunately only 1% of our student body takes a part in those programs. So there are a huge amount of financial aid opportunities for study abroad, as well as scholarship money. So when I went and studied abroad in Havana, Cuba, I was a Spanish major at the time, and I got a $1,500 scholarship just because I was a Spanish major. I got another $700 because I was of the first 5 people to sign up, and I had above a 3.0 GPA. So that was $2,000 for that program before I really even snapped my fingers. So we do have our very own study abroad office where you can go and find out about the programs that we do offer. And every semester we do have a study abroad fair. So every program that we have, you can go get information at the specific tables, and then you can even put your name into a drawing to get scholarship money for any study abroad program you're interested in. So the university is always recommending and pushing students to go study abroad. It's a really great experience.
Awesome. We did have a question. How do the meal plans work? Okay, so
if you are an incoming freshman who lives on campus, you will be required to have our all-access meal plan. And the all-access meal plan works. You, of course, have all access to our all-you-can-eat dining facilities, and there are about 5 of those on campus. And with that all-access dining facility that you do have 200 flex points. And flex points works at our restaurants like Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Starbucks, and essentially it's a no taxation system to where if you were to go to Subway that we have on campus and get a foot-long sub, it would be about 7 flex points taken out of your allotted amount of 200. After your freshman year of living on campus, we do have other meal plan options that are a little bit smaller, a little bit cheaper, and kind of work for upperclassmen who aren't on campus all the time. Along with that all-access meal plan, which all incoming freshmen will have, there are what we call 5 meal exchange with that. And every week you'll have 5 meal exchanges to go to either Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Panda Express, any option of your choice. And you can get a small meal, a side, and a drink, and that would count as 1 meal exchange. So you'll get 5 of those every single week, along with your all access to the dining commons, as well as 200 flex points. So you'll never go hungry your freshman year.
Wow. I know you answered this before, but we're getting a lot of other people joining us. If you could just say again, reiterate, what were the popular majors?
Yeah, so popular majors are engineering and nursing. Nursing, it is a required, you do have to apply into the program after your sophomore year, so we will have a lot of students from all over the country applying into that program. I will say though, doing your first 2 years at ODU is going to make your chances getting into the program a little bit better. Engineering is a big one, and the reason I say engineering is so big is because we have 100,000 jobs, or engineering jobs, within a 20-mile radius of ODU. So if I was an engineer, I'd be coming to ODU. And as I did also say, criminal justice and communication majors are pretty popular. Lots of internships available for criminal justice too.
Okay. We have a question that, how much is the meal deal? I guess the meal plan.
So I don't have the specific figures of any of our meal plans and how much they cost, but you can access that information online. I have realized that if you Google ODU and whatever you're looking for, you will find it. So if you Googled ODU
Guaranteed.
meal plans, it'll come up, I promise you.
What types of extracurricular activities are there on campus?
Yeah, so there are so many extracurricular activities. We do have up to 400 student-led clubs and organizations. Every single semester we have what we call our involvement fair, and that's when all of those 400 clubs and organizations will be out on our Kaufman Mall, and they will be promoting their clubs, giving students candy, giving them food and t-shirts, and just getting them a little bit of motivation and excited to join those clubs. Every single Tuesday and Thursday, no student at ODU has classes, and that's because that's our activity hour, and that's from 12:30 to 1:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you are going to be in a club and an organization, you do have a specific time where you will be meeting with those clubs and having any sort of breakdowns with those clubs. It'll all happen at that time. So the university does kind of allocate time for students to get involved and do stuff on campus.
Great. We have a question. When is the involvement fair?
The involvement fair. Okay, so it is a specific date at the beginning of each semester. I believe this past fall semester it was September, the first week of September, and then I believe for the spring semester it was either the first or second weeks of January. So it is always early in the semester. But there is plenty of marketing and signage for it, so they will be promoting it throughout the first week or two to get students involved and come out.
What are the application deadlines for admission?
So for our early action deadline, that is December 1st, and then after that, the deadline is August 1st. So we have a rolling deadline, so you can always apply.
That was all my questions. Is there anything else that you want to share that I haven't asked?
Well, one thing about ODU, it's right by the Virginia Beach, so we do have a very sort of beach vibe type of campus. Everything is flat all the way around campus, and one thing that I love, we are 7th in the nation for bike-friendly campuses, so you will always see students on bikes, skateboards, longboards. I've seen rollerblades, I've seen anything with wheels here at ODU. So if you sort of like that type of campus, very flat, very easy to get around instead of a very mountainous campus or lots of hills and whatnot, ODU is definitely the place for you. In our Student Recreation Center, we do have free weekly bike rentals that are available to our students. And if you wanted to pay $35, you could have that bike for the semester and not have to bring it back every week. So, and we also do have a bike shop where you can rent out those bikes. So if you do want to bring your own bike, you can get it fixed up in there and get help maintaining it and whatnot.
Great. We have a question. What is it like living in a dorm?
So living in a dorm's great. It's been a while since I've lived in a dorm. Teresa might be able to answer this a little bit better.
I currently live on campus. That's just what works out better for me. So I guess for me it was a big change from living at home, because at home I had 4 brothers and sisters, and here I'm in a room by myself. So there's different styles of residence halls. So you could get one where it's you and your roommate, or a shared bathroom, and then 2 suite mates, and then you'd have to share a bathroom with 3 other people. Or it could be that you're in a suite, so that way it's you and your roommate and then a bathroom. You can't get your own room unless you are in the Honors College or upperclassmen. However, living with a roommate is a great experience. If you are wondering about that, there are 3 ways to get a roommate. The first way is you bring your best friend from high school, which I've actually heard maybe isn't the most recommended thing, because if you spend too much time with somebody, it's not good either. But you could do that, or you could do a survey. So we do have an eHarmony like survey that you can answer questions like when you like to go to bed, what music you listen to, all of that fun stuff, and they'll match you up with somebody. The third way is completely random. Again, that's kind of luck of the draw sort of thing. So I would recommend doing the survey or bringing somebody you know, just because you could be very, very different from a lot of people. So I guess overall, in general, it is very convenient for me to go to class. I can wake up 10 minutes before my class starts. I don't, but I could, and just walk there. I also did commute for a semester, So I do have a bit of perspective of both, and it's just a lot easier for me to be able to have access to anything I might need on campus within 10 minutes of me being in my room. So.
Awesome.
And then I can kind of talk about the flip side, living off campus, since I've lived off campus ever since my sophomore year. So I just live on the streets that kind of neighbor the campus. With my bike, it is just a 5 to 10 minute bike ride to campus, so it is still really easy and accessible because, like I said, it's flat still all the way around. So that is really great. It is a little bit cheaper as opposed to living on campus because you aren't paying for like the luxury of being so close to everything. You're getting utilities paid for. And I would recommend living off campus if you're looking to kind of make a little bit of a maturity step of kind of taking care of a house, taking the trash out, cleaning the dishes, which my senior roommates still have trouble with now. But it is a good experience. But like Teresa said, it's a great experience living on campus. It really just depends on, how you are as a student and kind of how you operate.
Great. We have 3 questions. The first question is, can you provide more information about Honors College?
Right, so the Honors College is a smaller college within Old Dominion University, so you have to apply for that separately. The application is online, so you can find more specific details about that. And then once you're in the college, you do get a scholarship. It's a $500 yearly scholarship, and you get a bunch of benefits. One is that, like I mentioned before, you do get your own room. Should you choose to live on campus with the Honors College housing. Another benefit is that you do get to register for classes early, which is great, so that way classes tend to fill up kind of quickly, so you get to pick like the times that you want. There are a few extra things that you have to do, such as taking some Honors College courses. You only have to take 4 of those here at your time at ODU, but they're usually gen ed classes, so instead of taking like a chemistry class, you could take an honors chemistry class. And I like to say that they aren't harder, they're more what we like to call enriching. So they might be more seminar based, they're more hands-on, those sorts of things. I took an honors public speaking class, so the class was smaller, and I was able to, we did have to do an extra speech at the end, but it was an inspiring speech, so we got to talk about something we were passionate about, all of those things. So it is a great experience. I would recommend it. And even if you don't fulfill the minimum requirements, I believe it's like a 3.5 GPA. If you're at like a 3.4 or something, I would still recommend trying out applying, because you never know. That's more of an average score. So.
Great. One question we have, would you recommend becoming an RA?
So we've had a lot of students that we've worked with that have become RAs. I think it's a really great job. I will say you can only work that RA job the first year that you become an RA. So if you want to have multiple jobs on campus, it's not going to be possible at least that first year. But if you like interacting with your fellow students, helping your fellow students, I think it is a really great opportunity. I think it's going to look really great on a resume. Employers seeing that you oversaw 20 freshmen in a living situation, I think that says a lot about you. You do get a stipend to help pay for your living situation and things like that. So it's hard to speak on it having never done it, but from what I've seen, it really does look like a great experience.
Well, if they're interested, where can they find information about being an RA?
Our housing office, or if you Google ODU housing, you should be able to find out where to get it from there.
We also have RA interest meetings at the beginning of each semester, so if you are interested, see if you can find out when some of those are, and then you can get a lot more information through those meetings.
And even if you are a freshman living in a residence hall, you can ask your current RA how they got the job, and you can even become an RA after your freshman year, that sophomore year. So it is possible very early on.
Great. We're going to close this interview out, but if anyone else had any questions for admission, where can they find the admission page on the website? Or
so you can always give our office a call. We have representatives there 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that number is 757-683-3648. You could always email ODU
admissions@odu.edu.
That's why I keep her around. And then if you were to go on ODU.edu, there's a tab up at the top, and it's undergraduate admissions. If you click that, you could come find out how to take a tour or find out about any other admissions information.
Great. I lied. We have one more question.
Okay.
Why did you choose ODU?
Why did you choose ODU? It always comes, regardless of what
Yeah.
what setting. So I always like to break down why I chose ODU. That if I knew before coming to this university that I would end up being a campus ambassador, that I would end up becoming a peer academic coach, that I would go to Madrid, Spain, that I would go to Havana, Cuba, or that I'd even be in front of a camera talking to potential students, I would have told you, no way, no chance. I don't see my life working out that way. But it did, and I'm thankful and I'm blessed every single day that it has worked out this way, and it's all because of the university, ODU, that I chose to attend. The opportunities that they have, the diverse student body around you that really kind of influences your passions and influences what you want to do with your life. This university is a great university, and I would recommend it to anybody.
I came to ODU because I first toured here as a sophomore in high school because my brother was a senior, so I just kind of tagged along. And I had a fantastic tour guide, and I absolutely loved everything about the tour. I still remember it to this day. And something about ODU made me want to keep on coming back. I did tour other colleges, but something about ODU made me want to come back. I toured 8 more times. On my, yeah, he didn't know that, during my high school career, and it was just, I just loved the campus. I loved the diversity here. I loved in the library, we have these walls and they're made of glass and you can write on them. I knew I wanted to be a math major, and I knew I would be writing on those walls with these really long math formulas and looking really smart. These sorts of things were the things that I found at ODU, and I got very excited about it, and I couldn't wait to start here. So I guess that's kind of why I ended up here, and I've loved it since.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's been fun.
Great. We're gonna end.
Now, was this